Today we saw more reports on how the proposed greenhouse gas emissions trading scheme will cost jobs, lower growth, decrease wages, make households poorer, and export our dairy industry to countries that are less efficient. All for zero net environmental gain. So why do we, as consumers and taxpayers, allow politicians to inflict such economic violence on us? Simple. We've been emotionally blackmailed that unless we go along with such economic self-harming, we'll be guilty of plunging the world into climate chaos. One of the shabbiest items in the climate catastrophic storybook has to be their predictions about climate refugees, a term that eludes precise definition nonetheless. Norman Myers of Oxford University has estimated climate change will increase the number of environmental refugees sixfold over the next 50 years to 150 million. Dr. Graham Pearman has predicted a 2-degree rise in temperature would place 100 million people, quote, directly at risk of coastal flooding by 2100. And the IPCC has suggested 150 million environmental refugees would exist by 2050. Okay, let's look at those numbers again. 100 million or so climate refugees over a century or so. That's 1 million per year out of a total average global population this century of about 10 billion or so. That's one person out of every 10,000 having to move house. That's nothing compared with the tenth or so of people who move house every year for a multitude of reasons. That's assuming that these droughts and rising seas do actually produce these climate refugees. And as I've pointed out in other videos, there is no evidence that they will. In a climate where households are suffering massive wealth destruction through food and fuel price increases, it is insane to inflict the ultimate wealth destruction machine on them, namely the carbon charges and other Enron-designed scams of the Kyoto Treaty. It's good to see that the leader of the political party ACT New Zealand, Rodney Hyde, has said, quote, "I think we should do what every other country has done, which is renege," unquote. Nice one, Rodney.